Chicago Cubs baseball, brought to you by Smooth Bush Beer and easy drinking Bush Light. The Illinois Lottery. Play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. Comcast. Catch more Cubs games in HD on Comcast Digital Cable. Call 1-888-4BEST-TV today. By Pepsi. Every sip gets you closer. And by Southwest Airlines. You're now free to be more productive. Visit southwest.com today.
Sunny, warm, and breezy here in Surprise. It looks like a very nice crowd on hand here as the Cubs come in at 4-7. They split 2 yesterday. The Royals come in at 5-5. Now, time to check out Lou Pinella's lineup, brought to you by Pepsi. Every sip gets you closer. Alfonso Soriano, second game back after the finger injury. Eric Patterson at second base. Micah Hoffpower's played every day this spring. Ward, Merton, Soto in the middle. Cintron, Piet, and Andres Blanco at the bottom.
We're going to take a look at the Kansas City's Royal defensively. Tejan, DeJesus, and Guillen across the outfield. Gordon at third base. Tony Pena Jr. at shortstop today. Mark Grzelcyk, the former Cub, at second base. Ross Gload, the former White Sox, over at first base. What's Buck's first name?
John
Buck catching today. And Brett Tomko, the veteran right-hander, on the mound for the Royals.
And a 93-mile-an-hour heater for a strike. Brett Tomko competing for a spot at the bottom of the Royals rotation. He's trying to grab that fourth spot as Soriano hits it past the mound. Pena will throw and get Soriano. More on Alfonso's legs a little later, but says they feel good. Just hasn't really opened it up yet.
Now, they may feel good, but it certainly doesn't look good. Cub fans will remember very vividly at the end of the season last year the way Alfonso had to kind of drag that bad leg behind him when he tried to leg out infield hits, in a very similar trip down the first baseline right there.
74 degrees when the first pitch was thrown. Left-handed swinging. Second baseman Eric Patterson can play the outfield as well. His older brother, former Cub Corey Patterson, recently signed a minor league contract with the Cincinnati Reds. So did Jerry Hairston Jr., so they're reunited with Dusty Baker. Alex Gordon plays in at third. So does Ross Gload at first base. Soft liner is caught by Pena, 2 outs. The umpires, R.J. Thompson back of the plate, and on the bases, Drake, Machlinski, and Tiller.
We may have shown you some different names there. The umpires tend to rotate around and go from venue to venue on a given day. Really, the home plate umpire is the only one we know for sure. I know that's Rob Drake. I think he threw me out of a ball game.
You remember that face?
Yeah, I do.
The 0-1 pitch to Micah Hoffpower is fouled away off to the left. So 2 strikes on Hoffpower. Darrell Ward is on deck. He has hit a home run in each of his last 2 games. Darrell, the designated hitter.
Well, Micah Hoffpower's had himself a nice spring. As you'll find in spring training, a lot of the guys who aren't going to make the major league roster get a lot of at-bats in spring training, and that's been the case with Micah Hoffpower, and he's taken full advantage, hitting .348 coming into play today.
Now, what happens in a lot of organizations is you just find a new position.
Well, with Derek Lee solidly entrenched at first base, you don't figure there to be an opening there anytime soon. And if you can hit at the major league level, they'll find a place for you to play.
Buck back near the barrier, and he will not have room. The battery today for the Cubs, Ryan Dempster and Giovanni Soto. Watch from the dugout.
Little adjustment for Depp as far as mental preparation. As the closer, a lot of times he wouldn't show up in the bullpen till the 7th or 8th inning, but as a starter, obviously you've got to be ready to go when it's time to take the ball.
And fouled back. Well, they call this place the Surprise Recreation Campus. And it's as nice as any facility in baseball.
Boy, it really is, Len. I really like this little upper deck that they've installed. It's covered in the shade. The fans can really have a great vantage point of the field. Just a great facility.
They share this facility with the Texas Rangers.
And of course, the surprise is that you're still in Arizona when you get here. It's a long haul out here to the west side of the Valley of the Sun. Could very well be a suburb of Los Angeles as far as you have to drive to get here.
Right off Bell Road. Did you buy a car this morning? Every car dealership known to man. Just off the highway.
And as usual, a lot of Cub fans making the trek out here to the west side of the valley. Here very early today. The ball club arrived kind of late. They took their batting practice over in Mesa before the bus ride over here to Surprise. So the ball club got here just in time to stretch, play a little catch, and go get them.
Hoffpower really crushes this ball. It's going to one-hop the barrier out in the alley, and that'll be a double for Michael Hoffpower. Good at bat. That's the second double of the spring.
Real good at bat for Michael Hoffpower. I've always been a firm believer the more pitches you can see in an at bat, the better your chances of getting to the opposing pitcher. Little breaking ball, tried to throw it to the back door, caught too much plate. Hoffpower goes down and golfs it into the gap in right center field. Jose Guillen running it down out there in right field. His first appearance of the spring for the Kansas City Royals.
Darrell Ward now, who made his Cactus League debut on Wednesday, had been bothered by a sore glute muscle early in spring training. That's not what you called it, though, when you asked him. Not fit for television.
No, but he's feeling much better and obviously swinging the bat extremely well.
Pinch hit 2-run homer on Friday. Hit another home run yesterday and went 3 for 4. So he's 5 out of 9 with 4 extra base hits. Yeah, we were talking off the air before the ball game just how impressed we were with Darrell Ward last year, and just how he carries himself. Boy, a great guy to have on your bench.
And it is such a tough role to excel at. To sit over there on the bench sometimes for 2 or 3 or 4 days before you get that one pinch hit at bat.
And that one will get down and right. Should score a run. Hoffpower sent home by Mike Crotty. And the Cubs have the lead 1-0. 5 RBIs for Darrell Ward.
Money hitter, just find a way to get that base runner on the plate. Darrell Ward with a little soft line drive just over the head of Gloat at first base. Looked like he might have hit it off the very end of the bat, but got just enough of it. I was about to say, you sit over there on the bench sometimes for 2 or 3 days. You're not needed as a pinch hitter, and all of a sudden, hey, we need a knock here to win a ball game against the other team's closer. Go out there and do something. And more often than not, he came through for Lou Piniella last year.
Matt Merton getting the start in right. Kosuke Fukudome getting the day off. And knowing Matt like we do and how he likes to talk baseball and hitting, I'm sure he's talked a lot with Darrell Ward about being a part-time player. Well, he was robbed of a hit there as Tomko made a terrific play. Matt hit that ball very hard. Cubs do get a run on the single by Darrell Ward. Ryan Dempster to the mound when we return to Surprise.
Every sip gets you closer. It's Justin Timberlake MP3s.
Hey.
Hey to you. HD TVs, millions of songs from Amazon MP3 and more. Sign up at PepsiStuff.com.
Wednesday night.
Huh. A TV show. About us. What was the deal with that makeup? Exactly. Why not just use real cavemen?
Well, I thought their diction was good.
You could hear everything they were saying. At least they didn't say, it's so easy,
Yeah. There's that.
So, any questions on the menu?
I'm kind of in the mood for something different.
Oh, me too. I think I can help you there.
Try new Asiago steak, perfectly grilled and topped with flavorful Asiago cheese. Or new Fontina chicken, herb marinated chicken with Fontina cheese, both with 5 cheese tortelloni and our homemade Alfredo. 2 great new dishes only at Olive Garden, each with endless salad and breadsticks.
Well, what'd you think of our new dish?
It was exactly what I was in the mood for.
Olive Garden, when you're here, you're family.
Well, the DH in order today, and the Cubs DH with the RBI single, Darrell Ward, in the top of the first inning. So Ryan Dempster will go to work. And it'll be his 3rd start of the spring. He'll go 4 or 5 innings. John Lieber was slated to go 3 yesterday, but he didn't reach his pitch count. Felt good, so he went a 4th inning.
Very efficient 4 innings for John Lieber yesterday. Vintage John Lieber.
Center fielder David DeJesus will lead it off for Kansas City. We'll get the rest of their lineup here in a second. DeJesus 6 for 12 with a double and 3 RBIs. And a fastball missing, ball 1. Nothing is guaranteed at this point, but if Ryan Dempster continues to pitch well, really looks like he's going to grab the 3rd spot in the rotation. But again, anything can happen, and still a lot of time to go here in spring training.
You always have an idea coming into camp what your team is going to look like as you move forward toward the regular season.
High fly ball for PA in center. Tough sun today, and he makes a catch.
Yeah, but the fact is, you got to get out on the field, play the games, and sometimes people will change your mind in spring training.
A couple of former Cubs coming up, Grunzelanek and Glode. Jose Guillen making his Royals debut today. Alex Gordon, an exciting young 3rd baseman. Billy Butler at the DH. Mark Teahan at left. Buck and Tony Pena Jr. 8 and 9. Mark had a couple of knee surgeries last year, so he was eased into spring training. Same with Jose Guillen. The Royals' new skipper, Trey Hillman, let the veterans kind of dictate their own pace, getting ready to go here in spring training. On the ground to Blanco at short. It's only the 2nd official at bat of the spring for Grunzelanek.
And here's how the Cubs take the field defensively today behind Ryan Dempster. Brought to you by Pepsi. Every sip gets you closer. Soriano, PA, and Merton across the outfield. Alex Cintron getting the start at 3rd base. We just saw Andres Blanco at shortstop. Eric Patterson over at 2nd. Micah Hoffpower with the big double in the 1st inning will be playing first base. Giovanni Soto behind the dish for right-hander Ryan Dempster.
Again, just 5 innings of work, and has pitched well. Short left, Soriano on the move, but Blanco gets out there quickly and takes it. A nice 1-2-3 start for Ryan Dempster. 1-0 Cubs.
Now, everything you love about breakfast, scrambled eggs, savory sausage, skillet potatoes, 3 cheeses, and authentic salsa roja. Everything rolled inside the new McDonald's McSkillet Burrito.
The personality profile, it definitely reaches much deeper than typical matching sites.
At eHarmony, our process is designed to elicit your true self.
When I met him, it really was the person online and the person I met for real.
Log on today and review your matches for free.
When I was a kid, I used to hit rocks over this creek in my backyard. I guess you could say I'm still hitting rocks. But now, it's out of other people's yards.
There are many roads to the show. What'll yours be? MLB 08 The Show. Nothing gets you closer. Rated E for everyone. Only on PlayStation.
You have a chance to be on the greatest surprise.
JD's hatching a plan, but some ideas
What I'm looking forward to the most, when I can tell them one by one,
are better off dead.
Abort the surprise! Abort the babies!
Next Scrubs, tonight at 11 Eastern.
If you were my sister and a breast cancer survivor, I'd want to help you to do everything you could to keep it from coming back. After surgery, you have options that can significantly reduce the risk of recurrence. If you're on a treatment, stay on it, just as your doctor says. Find more information at getbcfacts.com.
Welcome back to Cubs baseball on WGN Sports. Len and Bob and our WGN Sports crew from Surprise. It's 1-0. And Giovanni Soto will lead off the second against Brett Tomko. Well, a good start for Dempster in the first inning. Quick 1-2-3 frame. Smack the other way. Guillen, however, will make the catch. Boy, the Cubs, the last 4 batters, Bob, have all made excellent contact.
Well, that's kind of been the story of Brett Tomko over the last few years of his career. He doesn't miss very many bats. His first start in spring training, he did go 4 innings. However, he gave up a couple of home runs in that ball game. 4 hits, 3 total runs in the game. This is a guy, when he first got to the major leagues, the sky was the limit. Everybody thought Brett Tomko was going to be a superstar. And he's had himself a very nice career, don't get me wrong, but he's hitting a lot of bats lately.
Alex Cintron will end up with at least a single, and he's thrown out at second base. He tried to get to second and could not get there. That ball dropped. There are 3 Royals in the vicinity. Lost it in the sun, but they got him at second.
I was watching the flight of the ball off the bat. I didn't really see if Alex got a good jump out of the batter's box. As long as that ball was in the air, you'd like to think he could make it to second base on that play, and it's the right thing to do to try to get yourself into scoring position with 1 out in the inning, but that's not what you want to have happen right there.
Here's Felix P.A. Apparently forgot his jersey, or somebody did, and what, he started 74, and he's now wearing 20, so everything's fine. A 1-strike pitch in the dirt.
It might be part of that ballpark bingo they have over here in Surprise. You know, as the players come up with their numbers, they fill out their bingo cards. Just trying to confuse the fans.
A fly to deep left. Tien goes back on it. That ball hits the base of the fence right in front of the pen. It's a double for PA. That's his 4th extra base hit of the spring.
Boy, you know, Lou Piniella loves to see that. He was just talking this morning about Felix P.A., what he needs to do offensively, and one of the things he mentioned was go to the opposite field a little bit more. Don't try to pull that outside pitch, and he hits this ball to straightaway left field with authority. That ball hit right at the base of the fence.
And it brings up a former Kansas City Royal. There's another former Royal. Lou Piniella was the American League Rookie of the Year, 1972. Andres Blanco, switch hitter. He's playing short. Lou spent several years with the Kansas City Royals. Actually, 1969 he was the Rookie of the Year. Was an All-Star in 72. So he was there from 69 to 73. Began his career with 1 at bat in 1964 as a 20-year-old with Baltimore. Then waited 4 more years to get 5 at bats with Cleveland. Finished his career with the New York Yankees, 74 to 84.
And he got a lot more than 5 at bats in those years.
Yes, he did. Big swing and a miss.
Trey Hillman, the first-year manager for the Kansas City Royals after a very successful career in the Japanese professional leagues. Chatting with Lou before the ball game today. The funny thing was Lou got stuck over there in front of the Kansas City Royals dugout when the national anthem was played. So even though they're all wearing blue, there was one Cubs uniform in the midst of all the Royals.
Line to left. It's going to hold up for Martin, and that ends the inning. 2 hits, no runs. Cubs lead 1-0 early on through an inning and a half.
You just randomly. I know. You were so jealous. What was that?
It's nothing.
Yeah.
Every sip gets you closer to clothing, vacations, millions of songs from Amazon MP3 and more. Sign up at PepsiStuff.com.
Goodbye, Mr. Made Up of Different Stuff guy.
Hey, hi. Could you take all these in for me, please?
All of them?
Well, it's the Boston cream pie and the apple turnovers and the white chocolate strawberries and the key lime pie.
So you need them let out?
No, in.
Out.
In.
Out.
No, in.
Yoplait Light. With 14 delicious flavors at 100 calories, it only tastes fattening.
Out? Okay, I was just outside and then I came in. So if you could...
Hello, Domino's.
Yo, Domino's guy. Guess what we get over here's now with our 30 minutes now?
Ordered a Brooklyn-style pizza and then pick up those fake Brooklyn accents.
You being the wise guy? Yo, Vinny, we got a wise guy. Yo, everybody, we got a wise guy.
No, fellas, did I say fake? I meant really cool.
Oh, you? Yes, good. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Here comes the Brooklyn. You got big, foldable slices and ginormous pepperoni. You got a one-topping large for $9.99. Domino's. You got 30 minutes.
Just because I'm a foster kid doesn't mean I'm a lost cause.
I have the potential for greatness.
Some people have an attitude about me because my parents have problems.
Give me a chance.
Do something to help me make it.
Make foster care better.
Don't write me off.
Foster kids are our kids.
We had to get Bob off that thing. We'll do the ball game today.
That's why I'm so dizzy. There's old baseball saying, when your team's swinging the bats well and guys are running the bases, get on that merry-go-round. They took it to the extreme here in Surprise.
A chopper hit by Jose Guillen, and Eric Patterson will throw him out. Cub fans still looking to get tickets to the hottest Cubs games this year. Visit Cubs.com and click on StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of Cubs.com. See a Cubs game from the best seats at Wrigley Field. Check out StubHub at Cubs.com, where baseball is always on. Called strike on Alex Gordon. Well, Ryan Dempster was a lifelong starter before he had Tommy John surgery. Came back with the Cubs in 2004 as a short reliever, and he has done that since. But this is a very familiar and comfortable role for him. He has gone at least 200 innings 3 times in his career. Called strike 3, 5 up, 5 down for Dempster.
Dempster being very efficient with his pitches today. The Royals are accommodating him by swinging at a lot of early pitches in the sequence. A little comeback sinker on the inside corner right there. And we talked about this before the ball game, Lynn. The biggest question for me with Dempster was, would he be able to maintain some kind of a reasonable pitch count as a starting pitcher? We know there were innings last year when he threw 30 to 40 pitches in the 9th inning of a ball game to get a save, and certainly you can't do that as a starting pitcher.
Good slider on Billy Butler, who is a DH for Kansas City. Ryan was an all-star in 2000 with Florida. 3 times has been in double digits in wins. Hit hard on the ground, but right at Andres Blanco. So 6 up, 6 down for Ryan Dempster. 1-0 Cubs after 2.
When they ask you Monday what you did this weekend, what will you say? Dragon Bush Light. Head for the mountains of Bush.
I know I have high cholesterol, but I didn't know it may have led to my erectile dysfunction. Then my doctor told me about Levitra.
Having diabetes changed my life, but I didn't know it might lead to ED. So I asked my doctor about Levitra. He said it's made for guys with ED.
If you're a guy with high cholesterol or diabetes, Levitra is proven to help treat your ED.
Ask your doctor if you are healthy enough for sexual activity. If you have heart problems or are on alpha blocker therapy, talk to your doctor before taking Levitra. Do not take Levitra if you take nitrates for chest pains, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, and stuffy or runny nose. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience an erection lasting longer than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in vision or hearing, stop taking Levitra and call your doctor right away.
Levitra worked for me. Maybe it can work for you.
Over 1 million guys have already taken Levitra.
Why wait? Ask your doctor if Levitra is right for you.
Thrill-seeking billionaire Thomas Crown is a man who takes risks. Like stealing priceless works of art.
Oh, yes.
But one woman is out to catch him.
It's not about the money. We like the chase.
Pierce Brosnan, Rene Russo.
You got your hand caught in the cookie jar now.
The Thomas Crown Affair. Friday at 8.
Well, the Cubs' bats have been a lot hotter than the Royals early on. They've knocked around Brett Tomko for 4 hits in the first 2 innings, while Ryan Dempster has not allowed a base runner. Big home run swing and a miss by Soriano as he gets his second at bat. Grounded out to short to start the ball game. Rough year for Tomko last year, 4-12 combined with the Dodgers and the Padres, and a .555 earned run average. At one time he pitched for Lou Piniella in Seattle. 34 years old. Slider pulled outside. 1-2.
And the Kansas City Royals in the American League spring training statistic have the highest ERA right now. I realize it's very early in spring training still, but that's a trend that probably will continue during the regular season.
A 6.29 ERA. Well, this will be a fun one. Time to have a ball with our friends at the Illinois Lottery. Bob and I like to work out in a similar fashion. A little spill out there, but she was way ahead at the time.
Must be a speed bump right there. They both fell off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brought to you by our friends at the Illinois Lottery. So Soriano with the Cubs' 5th hit. Patterson lined out his first time.
Let's see if Fonzie tries to get the motor started over there at first base. Lou was talking about that before the ball game as well, saying they're kind of allowing him to ease into it and let his body determine what he's capable of doing as far as running the bases and stealing bases. But the deeper you get into spring training, you'd like to see some signs of that explosive speed that Soriano was known for.
Long pause by Tomko. Soriano not running, and it's fouled straight back. Happy 60th birthday to Christine Tudron. Lifelong Cubs fan. That's from your family in Chicago. Hope you're watching Cubs baseball today. And Cubs baseball celebrating its 60th birthday on WGN Sports this year. I don't know if Christine remembers watching the Cubs when she was 6 months, 8 months old, but Cubs were on the air.
Well, this is the kind of day for the fans back in Chicago. Turn your thermostat way up, put your bathing suit on, and watch a little baseball and make believe you're down here in the sunshine in Arizona. Just a perfect day for a ball game.
A little breezy right now, the wind blowing out very slightly to right. Temperatures in the mid-70s. Soriano leaning towards second. And Tomko with a quick check on him.
Good opportunity for Eric Patterson with that big hole on the right side of the infield. Try to get a pitch that he can roll over and hook through that hole. Get that first to third merry-go-round going.
It looked like it was on his own. He was trying to bunt for a hit.
Normally when a guy is sacrificed bunting, you'll see him square around much sooner and make sure he gets on top of that ball and gets it on the ground somewhere. That was definitely a bunt for a base hit on his own. He looked up and saw Alex Gordon playing very deep at third base, tried to take advantage.
Tomko really taking his time with Soriano at first. The kick and the 2-2 pitch. And we'll do it again. Cubs came in hitting .296 as a team with a .365 on base percentage, slugging in the mid 400s. But the numbers here normally are elevated quite a bit.
Tend to be a little bit inflated in spring training. Very dry air here in the desert. The wind tends to blow out quite often at these games. Pitchers aren't quite as sharp as they will be as spring training progresses. And some of the fields around the Cactus League, as you might expect, get a little hard, especially towards the end of spring training, and ground balls tend to shoot through these turf or these natural turf fields like you're playing on AstroTurf.
Long at bat for Eric Patterson. He's hanging in. Golf to left for Tien. Well, you got to run him out today. He dropped it. Soriano motoring to third, and he is safe. Just got in. We're going to give Patterson a single. So that's twice now the Royals have not been able to make a catch. And the Cubs taking advantage here.
Now with the bright sunshine that we're dealing with here today, usually an outfielder will try to get an angle on the ball, try to get to one side or the other and get the ball out of the sun as much as you can. Tien trying to use that glove to shade his eyes from the sun, had the sunglasses on as well, but the ball was right in the middle of the sun and just couldn't make the catch. That's I'll tell you, a helpless feeling as an outfielder. You know that ball is streaking down right toward your face somewhere, but you can't see it. You just try to put the glove up there where you think the ball might be and protect your mug as best you can.
Now that worked out fine for the Cubs. Soriano couldn't go past second base because you're assuming the catch is going to be made and you have to wait, and he was able to get to third, which is about as far as he could go. But you alluded to this earlier. As this day goes on and the sun angle will change, especially for young guys, you better run out everything.
Absolutely.
There is no excuse today to.
Well, we've already seen it happen a couple times in the early going here. It's going to be a tough Sunday here in Surprise, and certainly if you're sitting in either dugout paying attention to the ball game and you happen to hit a ball in the air, you better kick in the afterburners.
Earlier this week, Bob, after Kansas City had won in walk-off fashion, Trey Hillman brought the entire club out to home plate. He was not happy about their base running. So a little public criticism. We didn't say a whole lot about it to the media afterwards, but if you're going to do it with the fans watching, the opposing team, there is a reason.
Well, he's trying to put his stamp on this new ball club. As I mentioned earlier, he's had great success over in Japan. He's been manager of the year in the minor leagues 3 different times for the New York Yankees organization. This is a guy who's very secure in his ability to run a ball club, and he's going to do it his way. A lot of young, inexperienced players on this Royals team, and he wants to make sure they know right away who's the boss.
Well, the Royals last year had their 4th consecutive last place finish. They did snap a string of 3 straight 100 loss seasons. They went 69-93 in Buddy Bell's final year as a manager. He stepped down after the season and was replaced by Hellman. DeJesus drifting back. He makes the catch. Both runners will tag. Soriano to the plate. Patterson to third. And it's 2-0. Hoffpower with a double, a sac fly, a run, and an RBI. So a good start for him today, starting at first base.
Nice job by Micah. Goes down and digs out this breaking ball down low and away. Gets it up in the air to straightaway center field. You knew Soriano was going to score easily, but I like what I saw from Eric Patterson. He tagged up at second base and sprinted to third. If there was any mishandling of that throw from the outfield, Mike Quaddy had a close eye on that relay and had thoughts about sending Patterson on home, but the relay was handled appropriately, so he threw up the stop sign and held him at third.
Up the middle, base hit for Darrell Ward. He's 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. 3-0.
I always love to watch the approach of a veteran hitter when there's nobody on base and then see him at the plate with a runner in scoring position. Darrell Ward, normally an extremely patient hitter, will work a deep count, make sure he gets a good pitch to hit. With a runner in scoring position at third base, he jumps on the first pitch he sees in the strike zone for a base hit up the middle.
So the Cubs with at least 2 knocks in every inning. 3 here in the third. Well, that guy, I'm sure, loves the approach today. Gerald Perry, in his 2nd year as a Cubs hitting coach. Ninth year for Gerald as a big league hitting instructor. Top of the order doing a lot of damage. Soriano and Patterson each with hits. Sac fly by Hoffpower. Ward with the RBI hit in this inning.
Might be talking about the sun, the way Soriano leaned back and looked up in the air. Another base hit.
Merton to center.
Well, you got to give Matt Merton a lot of credit. Came into this camp knowing that he didn't have a starting position on this team, but has just gone out and gone about his business. He leads the team in base hits this spring. This is 11th of the spring already. Clean single up the middle of the field.
Bob McClure, the Royals pitching coach, out to the mound. I'm not sure if you can pick it up at home, but I just hope somebody answers this lonely bird before the end of the day. I don't know if you can hear it.
Found a home near one of our mics.
Yeah, that bird has been chirping for a long time.
It's probably what's bothering Tomko out there on the mound, I'm sure. That and the ringing in his ears from all the base hits off the bats of the Cubs hitters.
I suppose it could be a defective alarm or something. If so, please, somebody put a battery in it. Giovanni Soto with 2 on and 1 out. 2 in for the Cubs this inning. Off the glove of Tomko, and they don't get an out at second base. Gregzolani tried the backhand flip to Pena, and it didn't work. They are loaded.
That backhanded flip, as you see Tomko deflects the ball, slows it down. That backhanded flip is such a dangerous play for a second baseman. Ideally, if you can wait on the ball long enough, you'd like to see the second baseman turn and run towards his target, give a nice underhanded toss. You can control it much better, but that time Gregzolani just didn't have time to make that play. Went with the dangerous backhanded flip and threw it away.
3 on with only 1 out. A fielder's choice for Soto, an error on Grudzielanek. Ball 1 outside. Brett Tomko hasn't been very sharp today, and neither has his defense. And that is a lethal combination. And the Cubs have taken full advantage. The 1-0. Now 1-1. Already 7 men have come to the plate. Fly ball for Cintron, left center, gonna go all the way to the wall. This could score 3. Ward is in, Merton scores. Giovanni Soto crosses the plate. Alex Cintron helping his cause to make this roster by clearing the bases.
Well, nice hitting by Cintron. Great base running by Giovanni Soto. You don't have to be a fast base runner to be a good base runner. Soto got a tremendous read. He saw that that ball was going to split the gap, and he was almost standing on second base when the ball came down. You see Merton rounding third base. He'll score easily. And Giovanni Soto right behind him. What a great read at first base for the young catcher.
These are the kinds of innings you just love to see as a hitting coach and a manager. Hey, everybody loves 3-run homers and grand slams, but when you can just keep that throttle opened up. Really stepped on Brett Tomko in this inning. I don't know if I necessarily believe in the idea of a 3-run homer being a rally killer, but there is, I mean, some people do believe that.
Well, you know,
do you believe that?
I'll take 3-run homers all day long, but I see the point. Base hit, base hit, base hit. You have runners on base. You've got the pitcher in the stretch. You've got some stress on the defense because they have to position themselves differently with runners on base. Yeah, even the catcher has to set up differently, go through a series of signs, so it really does change the game. And if you can continue to move those runners around and keep guys on base, it constantly puts pressure on the pitcher, the catcher, and the defense.
I mean, this is what you were talking about.
Get on that merry-go-round. Just keep making lefts.
We not only give you a Cubs baseball, but lots of metaphors and symbolism.
Nice patient at bat so far for Felix PA. Running the count to 3-0 before taking a called strike. Probably see him let it go right here if he gets a pitch in that strike zone. And Tomko has obliged by leaving a lot of pitches up over the plate. See if Felix can get a good hack right here. Had a good swing, but fouled it straight back.
Well, Ryan Dempster benefiting from these runs. And he's had a couple of very quick half innings on the mound. The 3-2 pitch, and PA draws the walk. That's about as good a result as he can have in spring training, because the one thing the Cubs want him to do is be more patient. That's it for Brett Tomko, chased out of the box in the 3rd inning. There's still only 1 out. The Cubs have a couple of men on base. And we'll be back. 6-0 Cubs.
So let me get this straight. With the Dairy Queen Cheeseburger Lovers Deal, I can get 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers for $2.22, or I can sink my teeth into 2 meaty double cheeseburgers for $3.33. They're both such great deals. I mean, which one should I get? The singles? Doubles? Singles? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Prepare to be torn. The Cheeseburger Lovers Deal at DQ. 2 cheeseburgers for $2.22 or 2 double cheeseburgers for $3.33. Do them.
We all have internal plumbing, but for some of us, it can be a problem. You know, frequent, sudden bladder urges. You worry your pipes might leak, so it's hard to always do things spur of the moment. If you've had enough, talk to your doctor about taking care with Vesicare. Vesicare once a day can help control your bladder muscles so it can help reduce urges and leaks day and night. If you have certain types of stomach, urinary, or glaucoma problems, do not take Vesicare. While taking Vesicare, if you experience a serious allergic reaction, severe abdominal pain, or become constipated for 3 or more days, tell your doctor right away. Common side effects are blurred vision, dry mouth, constipation, and indigestion. Fewer urges, the chance to be more spontaneous. Vesicare can make a difference. Ask your doctor today about taking care with Vesicare.
Derek Lee fan hanging out on the berm today. They're packed out in left and right center. And the Cub fans are very happy. Their team leads 6-0. New pitcher for Kansas City, right-hander Roberto Hiran, making his 3rd appearance of the spring. He's 31 years old. Born in Villa Maya, Dominican Republic. Boy, Hiran has been in pro ball for a long time. He made his debut with the Dominican Blue Jays back in 1993 and has yet to have a day of major league service.
Talk about perseverance.
Several years in independent leagues, chasing that dream. 2 balls, no strikes on Andres Blanco, the guy who started the inning with the singles on deck, Soriano. Well, I know you have a ton of respect for guys like Hiran. You spent a lot of time in the minor leagues, and you had that payoff at the end, but that doesn't happen for a lot of guys.
It certainly doesn't, and it does make it all worthwhile, regardless of how many bus trips you had to make and how many years you spend in the minor leagues. Just getting a taste of the big leagues makes it all worthwhile. I'm sure that's why Hiran continues to labor away, waiting for an opportunity. And you have to believe he's in a good place right now, this young Kansas City team. Trying to figure out how the pieces all fit together best. A couple of good spring training outings put you on the radar.
Now, when you came up, did you go back for any extended period?
I never went back to the minor leagues. As a matter of fact, when I got called up to the major leagues was the first time I'd ever been involved with a major league team. Never been to big league camp, never been to instructional league.
Off the end of the bad foul over Mike Quaddy.
And when you don't make it to the major leagues till you're 27, usually they don't send you back down. They usually send you home. You know, it's not like you have a bright future when you don't make it till you're 27. But fortunately, once I got there, I stayed.
Yeah, that does not happen in all cases. Two pitch, double play ball. 4-6-3, and Hiran gets the Royals out of the inning, but not before the Cubs put up 5, all charged to Brett Tomko. 6-0 with Dempster going back to the hill.
You've never seen Simon like this. You sounded fantastic. Nice to everyone. Except Lionel Richie.
Lionel, I don't think you pulled it off well. I never liked your performance. Absolutely dreadful.
Plus exclusive interviews.
You needed Simon on your side.
American Idol Rewind.
Tonight at 8 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Introducing Yo Plus, a new yogurt with special cultures and fiber that naturally help regulate your digestion. With the delicious Yo Play taste. Life's better on the plus side. Try it for 10 days and feel the difference.
Has asbestos ruined your health? If you or a family member suffered mesothelioma due to asbestos exposure, you may be entitled to a large cash award. Call 1-800-RESULTS today to learn about your rights. Don't let time run out. You can still file a claim. Don't be a victim twice. Call 1-800-RESULTS now.
If you've been injured by asbestos, call 1-800-RESULTS. Recovery, respect, results. You don't have to suffer. You just have to call 1-800-RESULTS.
So, any questions on the menu?
I'm kind of in the mood for something different.
Oh, me too. I think I can help you there.
Try new Asiago steak. Perfectly grilled and topped with flavorful Asiago cheese. Or new Fontina chicken, herb-marinated chicken with Fontina cheese. Both with 5 cheese tortelloni and our homemade Alfredo. 2 great new dishes only at Olive Garden. Each with endless salad and breadsticks.
Well, what do you think of our new dish?
It was exactly what I was in the mood for.
Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
A 5-run third for the Cubs, highlighted by the 3-run double from Alex Cintrone. So Brett Tomko gave up 6, 5 were earned. And it's Mark Teahan. He's slated to play left. He came up as a third baseman, then went to right last year to make room for Alex Gordon. Well, he's going to go from right to left, it appears, with Jose Guillen now on board. Just tell me where to play and I'll play.
That's right. Just give me a uniform. Well, Jose Guillen, the new right fielder for the Kansas City Royals, has had for a long time one of the best throwing arms in the game, and you want to put your best arm in right field, so that's where Guillen has settled.
First time Dempster's been behind a Royals hitter. 3 balls and no strikes.
I tell you, a starting pitcher will never complain about a long inning while your team's swinging the bats and scoring runs, but it's very important you find a way to get back into your rhythm as quickly as possible when you get back out there on the mound.
Cub fans, Bob, are not used to seeing Ryan Dempster work from the windup. He hasn't done it in, again, about 5 or 6 years before he got hurt. He said it was a little bit of an adjustment. And you'll notice he moves his glove before every pitch. That's because he has that split finger grip when he starts. So if he goes to another grip, he doesn't want to tip his pitches.
It's just a way to disguise what he's doing with the ball in the glove out there. The important thing is just do the same thing all the time. Sometimes pitchers will get into trouble as they dig into the glove to try to get the split finger grip. There's just a slight amount of movement. A hitter can pick that up and make an educated guess as to what pitch you're likely to throw. But if you do the same thing on every pitch, it makes it almost impossible for that hitter to guess along with you.
Well, the difference between then and now, going back to when Dempster was last a starter, well, he's more experienced. He has a reconstructed elbow. He's probably in better shape. I would guess he's in the best shape of his life. He has a split finger fastball that he can mix in, and he spent time with Greg Maddux, and that's probably the biggest one. We talk about approach and the things that you need to do to get people out.
Well, there's no question he has enough stuff to be a starting pitcher. Good sinking fastball, the hard slider, the split-fingered fastball, 3 pitches that ideally he can command in the strike zone or around the strike zone.
John Buck with the Royals' first hit. That'll be surrounded by PA. Teahan's going to be sent home. Might be a play there. Here's a relay throw by Blanco. Good throw, but he's safe. They almost had a shot at Mark Teahan. Well executed on the cutoff and the relay throw. But Teahan slid in.
The ball perfectly split the gap in left center. Felix goes to a knee to make sure that ball doesn't get by. The 2-hopper to the cutoff man, just a little bit too slow to get the play at home plate. That ball gets to the cutoff man in the air, or perhaps on one big hop, you've got a chance of getting that runner at home plate. But that second bounce in the grass killed the ball enough that they had no play at the dish.
Bunted foul by Tony Pena Jr. This is his first at bat today. Son of the former big league catcher and former Royals manager, Tony Pena. Ooh, got hit by that pitch. And it looks like he's all right. So he'll end up at first base.
Oh, the helmet went flying, but I do think he got his left arm up there to deflect that ball. Looks like he's going to be all right. Take another look. This one gets away from Dempster, starts up and in, runs further in, catches him on the left upper arm area. Just a different looking Ryan Dempster in this inning. I'm not saying it's for sure the cause, but that long half inning as his team was banging the ball all over the ballpark in the top half of the third inning, and we showed you a shot of Ryan just sitting over there in the dugout waiting for his turn to go back out and pitch once again, and he had been in such a great rhythm for the first two innings, having trouble rediscovering that rhythm here in the third.
Bouncer to Patterson. He'll spin and take the only play at first base.
I think it's a smart play on Eric Patterson's part. That was going to be some kind of miraculous play to wheel back against his momentum and throw back blindly to second base to try to get the lead runner. Just make sure you get an out in that situation.
Now the former Cub Mark Grudzolanek, who made the error in the top of the inning to help the Cubs. He won a Gold Glove in 2006 with the Royals. Limited to 116 games last year because of left knee problems. He had 2 operations. Up and in. Just enough room to get the name on the back. 3-0.
Great Scrabble name. Dempster laboring under the watchful eye of Larry Rothschild, all part of the learning process, although it's actually, as you mentioned, relearning. This is something Ryan Dempster's done before, just trying to reacclimate himself to being a starting pitcher. And you'd much rather go through these kinds of things down here in spring training.
And the bases are loaded. Two walks, a hit batter, and a double in the inning. And Dempster will face Ross Glode. Glode made his major league debut with the Cubs in 2000. Hit 194 and 31 at bats. Former member of the Rockies and the White Sox. Hit 288 for Kansas City last year. Called strike.
Now this is where you'd like to see Dempster's experience take over. All he needs right here is a ground ball to get out of the inning. He's got the sinking fastball. His slider has a lot of downward movement. His splitter has a lot of downward movement. Just try to make a pitch down around the knees with some movement even further down and get that desired ground ball. Let your defense work behind you.
Cubs with 1 in the first, 5 in the third. The Royals just got on the board and they have 3 on with only 1 out. Dempster trying to put away Glode, either a double play ball or strike him out. The kick and the pitch. Let's see if they can turn 2. They do. 4-6-3. Nice turn by Patterson and Blanco up the middle, and Dempster limits the damage. It's 6-1.
So let me get this straight. With the Dairy Queen Cheeseburger Lovers Deal, I can get 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers for $2.22, or I can sink my teeth into 2 meaty double cheeseburgers for $3.33? They're both such great deals. I mean, which one should I get? The singles? Doubles? Singles? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Prepare to be torn. The Cheeseburger Lovers Deal at DQ. 2 cheeseburgers for $2.22, or 2 double cheeseburgers for $3.33. Do 'em.
Call today for the Gold Delta Sky Miles credit card from American Express and start earning double miles in more places more often. Apply now and get up to 20,000 bonus miles. With award tickets starting at just 25,000 miles, you can fly free sooner. Plus, the annual fee is waived for the first year. Call 1-800-SKY-MILES. Call now for the Gold Delta Sky Miles credit card and earn 2 miles for every eligible dollar you spend for even faster travel awards on Delta and 15 airline partners. Take advantage of this great offer today and get 20,000 miles closer to a free trip. Plus, enjoy the card with no annual fee for the first year. Apply online or call 1-800-SKY-MILES now.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced nor retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
'2008 Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN Sports is brought to you by Bud Light. Endless refreshment from start to finish. Bud Light keeps it coming.
Good job by Ryan Dempster and the Cubs defense to get out of the bottom of the third with only 1 run allowed. And right-hander Leo Nunez takes over for Kansas City. Already their 3rd pitcher. And he'll go after the Cubs' top of the order. Strike 1 on Alfonso Soriano.
Nunez making his 3rd spring training appearance for the Kansas City Royals. 3 innings before today, giving up a total of only 2 base hits and no runs. Real live arm out there on the mound. Just the way Fonzie likes it. He likes those guys that like their fastball.
Got way under it. And it's De Jesus to put it away. Got almost 1,000 text responses to yesterday's poll question, brought to you by the new AT&T. So here's today's question. What do you think was the best part of yesterday's Cubs game? Text your response to 97999. Soriano with a couple of hits and an RBI. PA with 2 knocked in. John Lieber with 4 innings. Are the Cubs back on WGN? Again, text your response to 97999. All brought to you by the new AT&T. See what's new at the new AT&T. Visit att.com for details. One ball, 1 strike on Eric Patterson. Patterson was demoted from the big leagues to Double-A last September for reporting late to the ballpark. A base hit to right. But he apologized. Everybody's fine. It's over. Tough way to learn a lesson, but he did.
Well, hopefully it was a lesson learned. Yeah, that was a tough way to go about it. You'd like to believe that these guys, once they get to the major league level, are appreciative of the opportunity, and I think Eric Patterson is very appreciative of the opportunities that he's going to get from this point forward.
Well, he was a 2007 Topps in Baseball America AAA All-Star. Hit 297 last year for Iowa. And the second baseman on the all-PCL team. And a right for Hoffpower, sending Patterson to third. Ian spins and gets it back into Pena at second base. First and third. Hoffpower 2 for 2 with a sac fly.
The Cubs have their hitting shoes on today. Micah Hoffpower with his second base hit of the game. Once again, a pitch that's down there around the knees. Goes down and golfs it into the right field corner. Eric Patterson with a good jump off of first base. Easily makes the turn at second. Finds himself on third base. See if Darrell Ward attacks that first pitch in the sequence once again. We talked about it during his last at bat. With nobody on base, he's willing to work a deep count. With runners in scoring position, he's looking to drive him in.
Gets away from Buck. Patterson will score. Throw gets by Nunez. 7-1.
I believe Darrell Ward would have attacked this pitch if it were in the strike zone. Looked like a breaking ball that got in the dirt, kind of crossed up John Buck. He just reaches across, tries to make the backhand pick. With Patterson's speed, he scores easily.
Hoffpower moved up to second as well. So the Cubs get that run right back. Hit hard by Darrell Ward again. That's his third hit. Start the season tomorrow. That's what Darrell's thinking. He is 8 for 12.
Actually hit that ball too hard to allow Hoffpower an opportunity to score. That was a rocket into right field. And we talked about Jose Guillen's throwing arm earlier in the ball game, and Guillen showcased it on this play. Really aired it out to home plate.
So they're at the corners.
We're seeing a ball as big as a beach ball right now. Everything he hits is right on the sweet spot of the bat. I'd be smiling too if I was swinging the bat the way he is.
I know part of the challenge for a manager, let's say Darrell were swinging the bat like this in the final week. The challenge is to find a way to get him some at bats early in the season, because the last thing you want to do is have Darrell Ward go 9 for 12 and then get 2 at bats the next 2 weeks. That's not easy, because he's not going to start on opening day, and that, unless there's an injury, he's not slated to be in the lineup. The best he can hope for on opening day is probably 1 at bat late in the game.
Well, I spent part of my career as a backup player, a bench player, and in talking to a lot of bench players and talking to a lot of managers. Early in the season is when those guys are going to be at their best, because they get more at bats in spring training, more consistent at bats in spring training on a daily basis than they'll ever get during the regular season.
Pena to Grudzolonik. The throw to first gets Merton. And the Cubs can't get another run. If they do add 1 in the inning, they have 12 hits this afternoon. 7-1.
Do you have Serpico? It's a movie with Al Pacino.
Oh, I saw Serpico. Plays a cop, fights corruption on the force.
How does it end?
I think he gets shot in the head, or he turns into a blind guy who smells women. Either way, we don't have the movie.
Funniest Pets and People, weekdays at 6 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
What you do for a living has little to do with being alive. Easy drinking Busch Light. Head for the mountains of Busch.
Wow, you look incredible.
Oh,
clam chowder diet.
Oh, like it?
I love it. What's different?
It's the turkey noodle diet.
It's working for you.
I'm on the beef and baked potato diet.
Me too.
You won't believe what you can eat while still watching your calories. Because 25 of your favorite Progresso soups are 100 calories or less per serving.
Is that chicken and wild rice? Yes.
Counting calories, count on Progresso.
Wow, this is great. But the deal was you're supposed to make me breakfast this morning.
It's what you cook, if you cooked.
Fine.
McDonald's McSkillet burritos, skillet potatoes, scrambled eggs, cheese, sausage, and zesty salsa, all wrapped up to go.
This is the best breakfast you've ever made.
Ryan Dempster against Jose Guillen, and a roller to Cintrone. 1 out.
Hey fans, plan your next corporate function or family gathering in the comfort of the Wrigley Field Mezzanine Suites presented by Nuveen Investments. Suites are available now for games during the season. Be sure to ask about our April discount dates to book your suite, or for more information visit Cubs.com or call 773-404-CUBS.
I might have to get an ice cream cone today.
If you're in the shade, you might be okay, but if you're sitting in the sun, you're going to have to eat it fast.
Called strike on Gordon. Important inning for Ryan Dempster. Let's see if he can settle down after the third, where he lost his command. He went 1-2-3 in the first 2 innings. Alex Gordon was the 2nd overall pick back in 2005 out of the University of Nebraska, and right off the bat, you get labeled the next George Brett.
Oh
man.
Tough way to go.
Just impossible to live up to. We saw George in uniform. He's the vice president of baseball operations for the Kansas City Royals. Gordon last year had a rough start in his first major league campaign. He was hitting 172 on June 4th. He then hit 284 the rest of the way to finish at 247. At an awful end to the season. How about this, Bob? The final game of the year, in the 9th inning, he suffered a broken nose. Ground ball came up and hit him in the face.
Take that into the offseason with you, huh? Well, it's such an easy thing to do, but it is so unfair to compare young players to Hall of Famers, guys who have had great careers. I mean, George Brett, one of the best hitters in the history of this game. There's George. Boy, and just an all-out gamer. By all reports, a great teammate. I think he knows a little bit about hitting.
Just a little bit.
But, you know, we kind of ran into the same thing with the San Francisco Giants. Every center fielder that came up through the system was the next Willie Mays, which is such an unfair thing to do to a young player who's just trying to make a name for himself and get a career started, and suddenly to be compared to Willie Mays or George Brett or any of the other great players in the history of this game is patently unfair.
Brett went into the Hall of Fame in 1999. He only got 98% of the vote.
There ought to be an investigation for the other 2%.
3,154 hits, 3 batting titles, the 1980 most valuable player in the American League, and his number 5 retired. So who is the next Bob Brenly?
He has yet to play. They're still waiting on him.
How about a young Michael Brenly?
Looking for that 247 hitter with a weak arm.
Blanco throws across, and Dempster does settle in. Goes 1-2-3 for the 3rd time today. But he doesn't have to face George Brett. 7-1.
Every sip gets you closer. It's Justin Timberlake MP3s.
Hey.
Hey to you. HD TVs, millions of songs from Amazon MP3 and more. Sign up at PepsiStuff.com.
What can I say? It's in my blood. Racing, the STP,
really gets me going.
Because Marathon gasoline with STP provides extra cleaning power and helps maintain fuel economy?
That's right. I see all Marathon gas now contains STP additives. See y'all. Remember, pit road speed. Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
Stop in at your neighborhood marathon for your free 2008 NASCAR schedule.
When I was a kid, I used to hit rocks over this creek in my backyard. I guess you could say I'm still hitting rocks. But now, it's out of other people's yards.
There are many roads to the show. What'll yours be? MLB 08 The Show. Nothing gets you closer. Rated E for everyone. Only on PlayStation.
Yep, no doubt about it. That is definitely pup music.
Funniest Pets and People. Weekdays at 6 Eastern on Superstation WGN. America's Funniest Home Videos. Weeknights at 7 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Cubs 7, Royals 1. And Ryan Dempster is joining us from the Cubs dugout. I assume that means you're done.
No, I thought I'd hit here. Thought that was
Well, you have to be very happy with your performance. I would guess, Ryan, that you actually probably were happy about the third inning because you got out of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of spring training is for getting work in, right? Getting ready for the season, doing things you need to do. And, obviously I felt really good the first 2 innings. And to get yourself in a jam and get out of it, that's all part of the process to get ready for a year, to get yourself, familiar with those situations. You don't like them, but I got myself into it and knew that I just needed to make a pitch and got a good double play and then finished up strong.
Ryan, what's been the biggest difference in your preparation this year as a starting pitcher as opposed to last year as a closer?
I'd say probably, endurance, studying, just kind of have an idea of going out there and pitching and establishing a tempo. I think that's the biggest thing. When you come in the 9th inning, it really doesn't matter what your tempo is. You're out there to get 3 outs and do it however you have to do it. And as a starting pitcher, you want to establish something, for the game and kind of a pace of game. And that's what I try to do is work quick and throw strikes. And, other than the couple walks there, one was sort of intentional, not really, and set up the double play. But I felt good about my command and just doing that, getting ready for starting.
We rattled off all the accomplishments for you as a starting pitcher. And I know that's something that's important to you. I mean, you've been a starter your whole career, really. After you got hurt, you became a short reliever, but it never left your blood, did it?
No, it was something, obviously, that I think I, always going to miss. And when I was down there and when the opportunity came out to get after it again, I was really excited. And, kind of excited to, it's going to be hopefully my first chance to go out there and make 30-something starts after Tommy John. I only had a chance to make 6 last time, so I feel good, I feel strong, and I'm looking forward to go out there every 5th day and giving our team a real good chance to win a ball game.
Now, Ryan, the big question is, being a starting pitcher, you're going to get some ABs this year. How's your offense looking here this spring?
Well, it was good. I got a sack bunt down, and then I faced Vargas the other day, and it looked like he was throwing about 100 miles an hour. So I'm gonna have to work on my bat speed a little bit. But I've been working hard at it. That's a big part of the game. It's not just about pitching. And when you're a starting pitcher, you can help yourself win games however you can, whether it's with the bat or with the glove or whatever you got to do.
When are you going to get Lou to climb a mountain with you?
Right here after I'm done with you guys, we're going to go for a run.
That sounds great. Well, always a pleasure and nice performance today, and we look forward to seeing you the rest of the spring and into the regular season.
You got it, guys. Anytime.
Nice going, Dempster.
That's Ryan Dempster, who gave up 1 run on just 1 hit in 4 innings. 2-2, meanwhile, on Felix PA. 2 quick outs for Nunez. Popped it up. And it's Pena to make the catch. Cubs will dip into their bullpen. When we come back, it's 7-1 Cubs.
Bud Light is brewed to give you everything you want in a beer. Never-ending refreshment, superior drinkability, and now the ability to breathe fire.
Allow me.
Wow.
Do you have a cat?
The ability to
breathe fire no longer available in Bud Light. The endless refreshment, however, remains.
Bud Light keeps it coming.
I'm really sorry.
The first kiss was great.
It felt so natural to be kissing him.
It was so natural. It was so good. And they're still good.
Log on today and review your matches for free. eHarmony.com.
Tired of another sleepless night? For help falling asleep and staying asleep, there's 2-layer Ambient CR. The first layer helps you fall asleep fast, but unlike other sleep aids, there's a second layer that helps you stay asleep. Until you know how Ambient CR will affect you, you shouldn't drive or operate machinery. Be sure you're able to devote 7 to 8 hours to sleep before being active again. Sleepwalking and eating or driving while not fully awake with amnesia for the event have been reported. In rare cases, sleep aids may cause severe allergic reactions, such as swelling of your tongue or throat or shortness of breath. If you experience any of these behaviors or reactions, contact your doctor immediately. Side effects may include next-day drowsiness, dizziness, and headache. It's non-narcotic and can be taken for as long as your prescriber recommends. However, like most sleep aids, it has some risk of dependency. Don't take it with alcohol. Ask your prescriber about Ambient CR for a good night's sleep from start to finish.
Corner Gas, tonight at 11:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Let's check in on today's Honda Accord game summary. A lot of offense for the Cubs today. 7 runs on 12 hits, 3 hits for Darrell Ward once again. Alex Centrone with a big 3-run double. And Ryan Dempster on the mound, 4 solid innings as he tries to lock in a spot in the rotation. Visit your Honda dealer and test drive the all-new 268 horsepower Accord V6. Big hand for Kerry Wood. This is not the Cubs' home ballpark in spring training, but you'd never know it based on the reaction when he was announced.
I think every ballpark in the Cactus League is considered a Cubs' home park, the way they draw.
Swing and a miss by Mark T. and Casey McGee takes over the hot corner for Alex Centrone. He got his name wrong again on the PA. We have a lot of fun with Casey off the air. It's M small G capital small C rather capital G E-H-E-E, but it's pronounced McGee, not McGeehee or McGahee or McGeehee. It's McGee. One and 2 on Tien. Fouled back 97 on the gun. Kerry Wood has reached upwards of 98 already this spring.
Yeah, the Cubs are real pleased with his velocity. We heard Lou Piniella talking about the way the ball has been coming out of his hand this spring. Just a very nice, easy finish to his pitches, but explosive velocity on that heater.
98 that time.
Of course, the big test for Kerry Wood is going to be, as we move forward in spring training, the ability to pitch back-to-back days, maybe pitch 3 out of 4. See how his arm rebounds.
Well, that was a defensive swing, to say the least, by Tien. Going to be a close play, and they got him. McGee gets Tien by less than a half step.
He goes far to his left, cuts in front of the shortstop to make the play, and we'll take it. Very close over there at first base, rather.
I know we get too stuck on the radar gun, but it isn't about the velocity. It's about what you said, how the ball is coming out of a pitcher's hand. There was a reference earlier in the spring to Billy Petrick, who has had some shoulder problems. He's back in minor league camp, but Lou did not like how the ball was coming out of his hand.
It's kind of a hard thing to describe unless you spend your living standing behind a batting cage watching pitchers throw pitches. But for some guys, the ball just seems to jump out of their hand and go to the desired target. And for other guys, it really looks like they have to labor. They're using their entire body and trying to get that pitch where they need it to be with something on it. And those guys, those rare guys that have the kind of arm like Kerry Wood does, when the ball's coming out of his hand nicely, hitters have very little chance to square him up.
Well, we never want to look too far ahead, and I know Kerry would never do that either. But watching what Ryan Dempster has done, it does beg the question. I mean, Kerry's only 30. At some point down the road, I wonder if he would be interested in, and if the Cubs would be interested in him being a starter again. I guess a lot depends on what happens this year, what his role is, how he does. But he has really taken to being a short reliever.
Well, it kind of suits his personality. You talk about a closer's mentality, a guy that has a little bit of that Texas gunslinger in him, is not afraid to go out there and fail, because it's going to happen to the best closers in the game. But certainly with his arsenal of pitches, he's got enough stuff to be a good closer. It's just a question of his ability to rebound and get back out there again the next day.
That'll be caught by Eric Patterson, so John Buck retired. The difference between Wood and Dempster is that Kerry's had the shoulder problems. Did have the elbow surgery long ago. Dempster hasn't had the shoulder problems, and I think if Kerry can be in this role for a long time and feel good, you might not want to mess with it. I mean, there was a point, it wasn't that long ago, Bob, where he was thinking that he might be done.
And he may take to that closer's role. I mean, some guys, they like the idea of being available every day to go out there and pitch and help your team win a ball game. And by all reports, Kerry Wood has been a great teammate in his tenure here in Chicago, and the opportunity to come in as a closer and pitch maybe 3, 4, 5 days a week, that might really appeal to him, as opposed to one start every 5th day.
Well, the major question going into this year, when you look at his candidacy to be the closer, is the bounce back factor. Blew it by Tony Pena. The idea of coming back 2, 3, 4 out of 5 days. We'll see. Long way to go. He just went right through the bottom of the Royals order with no problem. It's 7-1 Cubs.
A master thief, a murderer, and the most powerful man in the world.
You know who did it, don't you? President of the United States.
Gene Hackman, Clint Eastwood.
Oh, that was entirely unacceptable.
Absolute power.
Thursday at 7:30 Eastern.
This is great. Cheerios?
Grandma says they make good hearts.
Come here.
You can eat it.
Let's just keep this forever. For every heart. Cheerios.
And now, every box can help a heart. Just enter the code online and we'll donate $1 toward cholesterol screenings for women in need.
Hello, Domino's.
Yo, Domino's guy. Guess what we get over here's now with our 30 minutes now.
Ordered a Brooklyn-style pizza and then pick up those fake Brooklyn accents.
You being the wise guy? Yo, Vinny, we got a wise guy. Yo, everybody, we got a wise guy.
No, fellas, did I say fake? I meant really cool.
Oh, you? Yes, good. That's what I'm talking about. You said what I'm talking about.
Here comes the Brooklyn. You got big, foldable slices and ginormous pepperoni. You got a one-topping large for $9.99. Domino's. You got 30 minutes.
Well, I was shopping for a new car. Which one's me? A cool convertible or an SUV? Too bad I didn't know my credit was whack, cause now I'm driving off the lot in a used subcompact. F-R-E-E, that spells free. Creditreport.com, baby. Saw their ads on my TV. Thought about going but was too lazy. Now instead of looking fly and rolling fat, my legs are sticking to the vinyl and my posse's getting laughed at. F-R-E-E, that spells free. Creditreport.com, baby. Offer applies with enrollment and Triple Advantage.
Cubs 7, Royals 1. Glad to have you with us. Cubs came in at 4-7 in Cactus League play. Shortstop Andres Blanco at the plate. He's hitting 9th. And one of just 2 in the entire lineup without a hit. Giovanni Soto, the other batter. Tien makes a catch as Pena peeled off at the very last second. Well, they've had all kinds of trouble out there in left and left center.
Woody with high fives all around after that inning of work. Finished in impressive style, blowing away Tony Pena Jr. with a high fastball.
So far, so good on the mound, Dempster and Wood. We're also slated to see Michael Wirtz, Carmen Pignatello, Carlos Marmol today. Rarely would I ever make a note to check on another spring training box score specifically, but I did today. Ichiro not in the lineup for Seattle. He is off to an 0 for 14 start. And that's actually a story in Seattle because Ichiro doesn't go 0 for 14 ever.
This is a guy that gets 200 plus hits, sometimes 230 hits plus every season. I don't think anybody's too concerned in Seattle, but it is odd to see Ichiro with some zeros after his name in the box score.
Popped up by Soriano. Grudzielanek with a better angle than Globe, but he dropped it in foul ground. Second error of the day for Grudzielanek.
Well, as we speak, the Royals are trying to get rid of the day games on their schedule and play all night games. They have really had some problems here today. The veteran Mark Grudzielanek, that time ranging into foul territory, battling the sun, couldn't come up with it.
Leo Nunez in his third inning. And the slider's outside. I think Trey Hillman is that pleased with what he's seen so far.
Well, you talked about the extra work on base running after Trey Hillman was disappointed with the way the Royals ran the bases in a ball game. We may see some defensive drills after this game today.
Time to revisit our text poll question. A lot of good choices here. Best part of yesterday's game. And everybody picked D, at least most. Cubs back on WGN, 64%. And we appreciate it. We'll be asking the text question of the game throughout the season. And it's all brought to you by the new AT&T. See what's new at the new AT&T. Visit att.com for details.
I've got to get faster texting. I can't get my answer in there quick enough to get on the board. By the time I get it ready, the totals are already up there. I would have voted for D.
Yeah, me too. Another big day for Darrell Ward. Low and inside on Patterson. So Darrell Ward with back-to-back 3-hit games. Patterson has scored twice.
Well, I'll tell you, spring training scorecards, by the end of camp, those scorecards, it looks like a Picasso painting. You know, you got lines going everywhere in different colors, and by the end of this game, that card will be filled up. They don't even bother to put the extra men at the bottom anymore.
Well, I guess Jake Fox, Josh Kroger will be in this ball game soon. Much neater over in the Royals dugout. Patterson draws a 2-out walk.
Well, I know as broadcasters and certainly the writers and the official scorekeepers at the various ballparks around spring training venues, they love it when the manager makes all the changes straight up. You know, you take out a third baseman, bring in a third baseman, he hits in the same spot in the order. That makes it very easy for all of us. And when you start double switching and moving guys around, and he'll hit in the one spot and he'll hit in the sixth spot, that's when your card gets trashed.
Well, I know you like to frame every scorecard after each spring training game. Are you running around a room in the basement?
No, I don't frame the cards anymore, Len. I started that for a while. We wallpapered the entire house with scorecards, so taking to putting them in a box.
Good to see Ron Santo, Pat Hughes calling the game on radio today. Ron in deep thought at the moment. Michael Hoffpower with his third hit. Going to be extra bases for him. Eric Patterson showing great wheels. He'll score very easily. Hoffpower to third with a triple. He is a home run away from the cycle today.
He's picked on some low pitches in this ball game. Obviously a real good low ball hitter. Once again, a pitch down around the knees, out over the plate where he can extend those arms, and this time reaches out and hooks it back to right center field. Big day for Michael Hoffpower today.
I want to tell you, Eric Patterson can run. Third time he has scored.
You love to see those fast guys on a ball hitting the gap, and they're the runner at first base. That's an opportunity then for really let it out, get long strides, cut the corners sharply as Patterson did. And you're right, it's fun to watch fast guys run the bases. Sometimes it's fun to watch slow guys run the bases too. It's a little more comical, but it's a lot more fun to watch the fast guys.
Based on the scorecard we saw in the dugout, this would be Darrell Ward's final at bat. I think Jake Fox's name was on that list. I thought I said Casper there for a second. I was a little nervous. Kroger.
Yeah, nowadays most lineup cards are usually printed off of a computer, so you see on the left there the ones that have been marked off. That was right out of the computer this morning, but the changes in cursive handwriting. I don't believe I've ever seen that on a scorecard before. Usually it's all printed very legibly so you can make out who's going in and who's hitting in what spot in the order.
I think I'm in for Merton.
I do think you're in there.
Convinced that says Casper. Darrell Ward again.
Oh, man.
4 for 4. Hoffpower scores. Ward to second base. You cannot stop Darrell Ward.
He's a force of nature right now. Well, and you just love his approach at the plate. He works with what the pitcher gives him. That ball's out over the plate and down a little bit. He doesn't try to pull it. He just lines it into that left center field gap, head right down the barrel of the bat. Nice high follow through. Just absolutely locked in.
It is 9-1. McClure out again. Make sure you check out our baseball blog on WGNTV.com. Looking forward to another Cubs season of blogging and answering your questions. We'll have photos put up there throughout the year. We'll be kicking off our podcast soon. WGNTV.com. Len and Bob's blog. Called strike on Merton. 0-1. Cubs with 14 hits. Gordon backs up, long throw, and Glow just kept his toe on first base. The Cubs add a pair and lead 9-1 as we go to the last of the 6th.
You're now fantasizing about me being the maid in the Brady Bunch. Am I right?
Scrubs tonight at 11 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Endless refreshment from start to finish. Bud Light keeps it coming.
Hey, hi. Could you take all these in for me, please?
All of them?
Well, it's the Boston cream pie and the apple turnovers and the white chocolate strawberries and the key lime pie.
So you need them let out?
No, in.
Out.
In.
Out.
No, in.
Yoplait Light. With 14 delicious flavors at 100 calories, it only tastes fattening.
Out? Okay, I was just outside and then I came in, so if you could...
This is my hotel.
My hotel.
At My Best Western, I know what business travelers need.
That's why we offer our free Gold Crown Club International card.
Earn points towards free nights, air miles, car rentals, and more.
At My Best Western, you're not just a guest, you're my guest.
Best Western. Ownership shows. Stay twice through April 6th and earn twice the rewards. AAA members earn 3 times. Twice is nice. 3 times is nicer. Visit bestwestern.com.
Want to be twice as groovy? Come on, let's go. Then just watch Sister Sister. It's 2 times everything. Now 5 days a week.
Weekdays at 5 on Superstation WGN.
Well, that's it for Soriano and Cintrone. So they head off the field. Matt Merton not too far behind. Giovanni Soto catching up. Good day's work, fellas. This is the year, and you have a chance to be at every game. The new CBOE Seat Season Ticket Auction will give you that chance. Bid today at the CBOE Seat Season Ticket Auction to win tickets, including the rights to purchase postseason tickets. The new CBOE seats, located in the first 3 rows between the Cubs dugout and the Cubs bullpen, are only available at Cubs.com. Left-hander Carmen Pignatello is now on, the Aurora, Illinois resident. So he endured the same winter everybody else in Chicago did. Time to do some running. Top of the order for KC, David DeJesus, the batter. 1 ball, 1 strike. I think it's very possible the Cubs could start the season with only 1 left-hander in their bullpen, Scott Air. Sam Fold now playing left. But we knew that. We saw it on the lineup card. And I'm not playing right. It's Josh Kroger.
I'd be upset if I were you, man.
I had my shot.
Had your chance. Looked like your name on the card.
No dice.
Good opportunity for Josh Kroger. Get a couple of at-bats perhaps here towards the end of this ball game. He swung the bat well this spring.
He thought he was broadcasting the rest of this game. You know, at the Hall of Fame game, Peter Chase, who's a Cubs director of media relations, when he was with the Red Sox, he got an at-bat in the Hall of Fame game.
Really?
So if you want to take a shot against the Padres, I think you might have that opportunity.
I had my chance against the Padres. A lot of chances.
Busted bat liner to Blanco at short. Brett Zolonic is out. And he's out a bat as well.
Looking forward to that trip to Cooperstown. For those of you who have never been to Cooperstown, New York, and the Baseball Hall of Fame, it is quite the experience. Just the little town itself, the tree-lined streets, and beautiful homes right on a lake. And you could spend a week at that Baseball Hall of Fame if you had the time to do it. But really a trip worth making.
It'll be the final Hall of Fame game, and we will have it for you right here on WGN Sports. 1 o'clock Central Time on June 16th. The Cubs will have been in Toronto and on their way to Tampa Bay. But they'll play the Padres on June 16th. And they got him. Eric Patterson with a nice throw to just get Ross glowed. 9-1 the Cubs after 6.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Pepsi. Every sip gets you closer.
You just randomly What was that?
It's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
Every sip gets you closer to clothing, vacations, millions of songs from Amazon MP3 and more. Sign up at PepsiStuff.com.
Goodbye, Mr. Made Up of Different Stuff guy.
When I was a kid, I used to hit rocks over this creek in my backyard. I guess you could say I'm still hitting rocks. But now, it's out of other people's yards.
There are many roads to the show. What'll yours be? MLB 08 The Show. Nothing gets you closer. Rated E for everyone. Only on PlayStation.
Cubs 9, Royals 1, and the Cubs have done it all today. They've gotten the offense, the defense, and the pitching all to work very well together. Carmen Pignatello, he'd like to change Lou Piniella's mind. The Cubs add that second left-hander. His 5th appearance and still has not allowed an earned run. Here's Coy Hill now catching for Soto. Switch hitter batting right-handed. It's pretty simple for Coy Hill, Bob. Defensively, he belongs somewhere in the big leagues. It's offensively is where he struggled. He'll be thrown out by Gordon. And the Cubs had a very good record when he started last year and got very good reviews behind the plate.
Well, and unfortunately for Coy Hill anyway, the inability to consistently produce with the bat has limited him to being a quote-unquote backup catcher, but you can make a good living doing that too. He's a highly regarded defensive catcher, and as you mentioned last year, the pitchers that threw to Coy Hill had nothing but good things to say about him, but we know Lou Piniella is a guy that likes offense from every position, and hopefully Giovanni Soto will be that guy that gives you the best combination of a glove and a game-calling ability behind the plate to go along with the bat.
And veteran Henry Blanco, slated to be the backup catcher at this point, sliced into right by McGee for a hit. Yeah, the Cubs last year went 17-8 when Coy Hill started behind the plate. Former Cub left-hander Ron Mayhay on the mound for the Royals.
He's got a pretty good start on a full set of major league luggage. This is his 7th team in his career for Ron Mayhay, the left-hander.
Attended South Suburban Junior College. Born in Crestwood, Illinois. PA hits it hard, and Pena has it just get by him. And PA is on at first. It's a hit for PA, his second. Well, all of us at WGN Sports very excited to announce that every Cubs broadcast this season, both home and road, will be in beautiful high definition, sponsored by our friends at Comcast. The season begins with a home opener on March 31st. We'll bring you the unveiling of the new Ernie Banks statue in the morning. Then later, our half-hour special next year is here at 12:30, and the leadoff man show at 1 will get you set for the Cubs hosting Milwaukee at 1:20. All of it in sparkling HD, sponsored by Comcast. Andres Blanco needs a hit. The Cubs have 16 of them, and he's 0 for 3.
Somebody's got to make the outs, otherwise we'd hit all day. He's due right here, though. Find a hole.
Yes, I just love the baseball cliches. Somebody has to make the outs. Yeah.
And usually you spread it around the lineup, but on a given day, one guy seems to make them all while everybody else is getting fat. Some of the major league scouts here in attendance today, checking out these rosters for potential trades.
Could this be it? Yeah, it will be. Blanco not only gets a hit, he's probably going to drive in at least one. As McGee scores, and it's a double. Nice going. Andres Blanco against his former team.
Yeah, babe.
Well, the other one is if you get down big, you might as well make it early, right? Because it gives you a lot of time to catch up.
Yep.
All kinds of good baseball cliches.
They're falling right into our trap. We're going to tire them out running the bases. The Cubs have run the bases a lot today. Slicing line drive down in that right field corner. PA had to hold up to see if Guillen had an opportunity to catch that ball before he could finally turn on the Jets and make it around to third base. Otherwise, Blanco may have had 2 RBIs.
Sam Folds is pressing. That, according to his manager, Lou Piniella. First big league camp. Came in with an opportunity to compete with Felix PA. And while Felix doesn't have a ton of experience, he's been in big league camp before and has more experience than Sam Folds. And it's natural for a young player to press when given this opportunity.
Now, the one thing you do like about Sam Folds, I believe he was 2 for 14 coming into play today, but he had drawn 6 base on balls. A lot of times a young player, when he's struggling to get his hits, will become overly aggressive, expand his strike zone, start to swing at a lot of bad pitches, but that hasn't been the case with Sam Folds, although he would love to find a hole just like Andres Blanco did and get another knock right here.
It's 10-1. He draws another walk, so that on base percentage, which was .400 coming in, will go up. Eric Patterson at the plate, and the guy on deck has a shot at the cycle today. Michael Hoffpower with 3 hits, a single, a double, and a triple.
And the one time they did get Hoffpower out in this ball game was a sacrifice fly to deep center field, so he's been very productive every time he stepped in that box today.
One ball, one strike. Always a good experience for a left-handed hitter like Patterson to face a southpaw on the mound. Mayhay.
You know, Len, it's kind of a common procedure for major league managers to try to protect young players and avoid matchups where you don't think they have a chance to be successful. But in some instances, I think we do young players a disservice by that. I mean, a guy like Eric Patterson has been a regular player everywhere he's been in the minor leagues. He's faced righties, he's faced lefties. It makes no difference to him. But suddenly you get to the major league level, and in an effort to protect a young player like Eric Patterson, maybe you sit him against certain left-handed pitching. I think you just, if a guy's an everyday player, you run him out there and you let him face whoever's on the mound that particular inning. Now, over the course of a career, some guys will define themselves as platoon players, and at that point, it's a smart move to match a guy who only handles one side or the other with a guy who does well the other way. So, yeah, I just think sometimes with the young players, we try so hard to make sure they don't get discouraged early in their careers that we take away what made them good and got them to this level.
So Mayhay with a strikeout. And Micah Hoffpower will not get that opportunity. Jake Fox is going to hit for him.
Got tied up with a fastball inside right there. So if Jake Fox gets a home run, we're going to give the cycle to the two of them combined. How's that?
Oh, yeah, Jake Fox was going to bat for Darrell Ward. You think? Is Darrell Ward going to bat? I would be surprised. 4 for 4. Yeah, Darrell Ward's done. 4 hits, a double, a run, 3 RBIs. Popped up by Fox. And it's Esteban Herman now playing second base to make the catch. 10-1 Cubs.
Digital TV has better picture, better sound, more channels. But in 2009, when broadcast TV goes all digital, will you lose your signal? Go to dtvanswers.com or call this number to learn about TV's switch to digital.
Corner Gas, tonight at 11:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Bud Light is brewed to give you everything you want in a beer. Never-ending refreshment, superior drinkability, and now, the ability to talk to animals.
Hey there, boy. How was your day?
Sausages. 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 Please, sausages. 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 Sausage.
Okay.
Sausage.
Good talk.
Sausages.
The ability to talk to animals no longer available in Bud Light.
Sausage.
The endless refreshment, however, remains. Bud Light keeps it coming.
What's on your mind, little buddy?
Mind your own business, chump.
Sausage.
Wow, you look incredible.
Now, is that the hearty chicken rotini diet?
No, it's the Manhattan clam chowder diet.
Like it?
I love it. What's different?
It's the turkey noodle diet. It's working for you.
I'm on the beef and baked potato diet.
Me too.
You won't believe what you can eat while still watching your calories. Because 25 of your favorite Progresso soups are 100 calories or less per serving.
Is that chicken and wild rice? Yes.
Counting calories, count on Progresso.
What can I say? It's in my blood. Racing, the STP, it really gets me going.
Because marathon gasoline with STP provides extra cleaning power and helps maintain fuel economy?
That's right. I see all marathon gas now contains STP additives. See y'all. Remember, pit road speed. Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
Stop in at your neighborhood marathon for your free 2008 NASCAR schedule.
Well, I woke up Sunday morning with no way.
Time for a Bud Light fan cam on a Sunday from Surprise, Arizona.
And the beer I had for breakfast wasn't bad, so I had one more for dessert. Then I fumbled in my closet through my clothes and found my cleanest dirty shirt. Then I washed my face and combed my hair and stumbled down the stairs to meet the day.
Johnny Cash, my cleanest dirty shirt. Sunday morning coming down, recorded in 1972. Today's Bud Light fan cam. Bud Light keeps it coming. Slider artist Michael Wirtz is on to pitch. This is his second appearance. He was held back just a little bit. Build up his arm strength. And Jose Guillen in his debut. It's a Rainbow PA really struggling, makes the catch. Nicely done by Felix.
Talking to Michael Wirtz before the ball game today, I asked him if he was working on anything specifically this spring. I mean, we all know Michael Wirtz is a slider artist. That's his pitch. That's what he uses to get himself out of jams. And I thought maybe he would be working on some other things, a straight changeup. But because of the slight setback earlier in camp, he said he's just trying to work on some endurance and some arm strength right now. And said he feels extremely good going into today's action. And we talked about it a little bit yesterday. For veteran players who already have their spot on the team sewn up, it's not all bad to miss some time early in spring training. It's such a long grind of a season, and Michael Wirtz is a guy that's going to have plenty of appearances this year for Lou Piniella and Larry Rothschild. So to miss an outing or two down here in Arizona early in spring training is of no consequence.
Gordon hits a deep fly ball, sending Sam Fuld back to the warning track. It's going to get off the wall. Fuld plays it well. And it's a double for Gordon. First time he's put a ball in play. He struck out his first 2 times.
Sam Fuld does a nice job of retreating and playing that carom off the wall on one hop. He gets off a strong throw back to the infield, but Gordon chugs easily into second base with a stand-up double.
Damon Hollins will bat for the DH Butler. It's only their second hit. The other one was an RBI double by Buck back in the 3rd. I don't know if we'll see Jose Guillen again today. Just completed his 3rd at bat. We should point out that he signed a 3-year contract in the offseason with the Royals. That same day he was suspended for the first 15 days of the upcoming season, which translates to 12 games for violating Major League Baseball's drug policy. He is appealing that ruling, so he could miss the first couple of weeks. Two and one on Hollins.
Getting back briefly to Michael Wirtz, he was also talking about that phenomenon we see in spring training with pitchers, the dead arm period. And every pitcher goes through it at some point in spring training or the early part of the regular season. It's not a pain, it's not really an injury, but pitchers just feel like there's nothing there. When they go to release a pitch, the fastball is a little shorter than it should be. The breaking ball rolls a little bit instead of biting as it comes into the hitting zone. And Michael said that he felt in his side sessions he's already gone through that dead arm period. So if you can get that out of the way this early in spring training and still have 2.5 to 3 weeks to get yourself ready for the regular season, that's more than enough time for a guy like Michael Wirtz.
Youngsters going after that souvenir. Three and two on Hollins. Here's the pitch by Michael. Another pop up. Jake Fox will have room this time in foul ground. Fox playing first base. Now Bob Howery, he threw earlier than he normally does in the offseason because he just every year, first 2 months, just takes him a while to get his arm and velocity up to where he feels it's best. Sometimes you just can't explain it.
It's really a tough game to figure out, and it's where the individuality of the sport comes into play. Some guys show up in spring training ready to go day one. Other guys need the full 6 weeks to get ready for the regular season, and some guys don't get ready until some point during the season.
Now the pitchers need more time than the position players, that's for sure. We know Darrell Ward wants to start tomorrow. One and one on Tien. Make it 1 and 2. And we want to send out our best wishes to Yosh Kawano, Cubs clubhouse man since the 40s, and battled a foot problem recently, but he's doing fine. I saw Yosh the other day. over in Mesa. Tomorrow the Cubs will play in West Phoenix at Maryvale Baseball Park against the Brewers, and Rich Hill will get the start. Carlos Zambrano will be pushed back a day because he's going to face Milwaukee on opening day. Rich Hill will not face the Brewers in that series. His debut will be in Game 4 against Houston on April 4th. Also, Mark DeRosa will make his spring debut, so we're looking forward to that.
I know Mark is looking forward to that as well. Probably has seemed like a long time since he stepped on the field. Because he's been hitting, he's been taking ground balls, fully participating in all activities other than game activity. $10,611 in attendance. Swing and a miss. Tien strikes out. And the Royals done in the seventh. They have just 2 hits against 4 Cubs pitchers today. It's 10-1.
And Sunday morning coming down.
You did crazy. What was that?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Every sip gets you closer to clothing, vacations, millions of songs from Amazon MP3 and more. Sign up at PepsiStuff.com.
Goodbye, Mr. Made Up of Different Stuff guy.
Introducing Yo Plus, a new yogurt with special cultures and fiber that naturally help regulate your digestion. With the delicious Yo Play taste. Life's better on the plus side. Try it for 10 days and feel the difference.
So let me get this straight. With the Dairy Queen Cheeseburger Lovers Deal, I can get 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers for $2.22, or I can sink my teeth into 2 meaty double cheeseburgers for $3.33? They're both such great deals. I mean, which one should I get? The singles? Doubles? Singles? What are you doing? What are you doing? Prepare to be torn. The Cheeseburger Lovers Deal at DQ. 2 cheeseburgers for $2.22 or 2 double cheeseburgers for $3.33. Do them.
You've never seen Simon like this. You sounded fantastic. Nice to everyone. Except Lionel Richie.
Lionel, I don't think you pulled it off well. I never liked your performance. Absolutely dreadful.
Plus exclusive interviews.
You needed Simon on your side.
American Idol Rewind.
Tonight at 8 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
All Cubs, 10 runs on 17 hits. Flawless defense. The Royals have struggled, making a couple of errors, losing a couple of balls in the sun. They'll have just 2 hits and 1 run. And right-hander Yasuhiko Yabuda is on for Kansas City. They have made a lot of changes.
Very nice.
Let's go sideways for a second. Now let's go backwards.
He got his game face on. He's serious about it.
Luis Figueroa will lead it off for the Cubs. And we'd like to welcome those viewers watching from Japan today. Kosuke Fukudome getting the day off. Yabuda signed a 2-year free agent contract prior to the season with an option for 2010. Born in Osaka, Japan. A 12-year career in Japan with Chiba Lotte of the Pacific League. That's Bobby Valentine's club.
I believe you're right. Yep.
Like a lot of Japanese-born pitchers, you see the leg kick, and there's just almost a very slight pause. Very deliberate. I read Hideo Nomo, who was in camp with the Royals, has gone away from the tornado windup. He's going exclusively from the stretch, trying to make a comeback.
Boy, there were times in his days with the Los Angeles Dodgers that Hideo Nomo was about as unhittable as a pitcher could possibly be. It would usually take you a couple of at-bats till you got used to the timing of his delivery to the plate, and man, even after you figured it out, it was tough to hit him.
Figueroa bounces to first for Ryan Sheely. He takes it unassisted. First out made from the cleanup spot today as Darrell Ward went 4 for 4. We finally found the birds, and the one we were listening to earlier has some company. That's good news.
They're just waiting for the ball game to get over so they can make their way down into the stands and clean up whatever popcorn is left here from the crowd today.
Now Josh Kroger. First time he's come up. Mertens started in right and went 1 for 4 with a run. And finished the day hitting .367. Called strike on a breaking ball, 1-1. Yabuda from the stretch. And the pitch. A little too low. Matt Tupman now catching. Okay. We've had enough. Need a little nap. Take a little break.
Josh Kroger, a guy that was with the Arizona Diamondbacks when I was a member of that organization, a highly thought of prospect, has hit everywhere he's been in the minor leagues, just has never really had the opportunity to showcase his skills at the major league level. Was always kind of hamstrung because of the players that he was playing behind, and never really got his shot at the big league level.
6'3", 230. And he'll drop one down in front of the right fielder Mitch Meyer for a base hit. Number 18 for the Cubs. Hello, Dolly.
It's nice to have you back where you belong. Coy Hill gets to turn around from the left side of the plate this time. I think he's much more comfortable as a left-handed hitter, has a lot more power as a left-handed hitter, a more natural swing.
And strike one. Last year he hit under 200 from both sides of the plate. In his career, 3 home runs, all left-handed, or at least all against righties. I suppose he might have hit a home run right-handed against a knuckleballer, but I doubt it. Doubt it. Kroger not being held at first base. The pitch outside.
Well, we know Coy Hill's a tough guy. I believe I've told the story in the past when he was playing with the Arizona Diamondbacks after I had been relieved of duties. Let's just put it that way. And Coy Hill got bowled over at home plate by Ty Wigginton on a bang-bang play at the plate and actually broke his ankle and stayed in the ball game to finish the inning defensively and was going to take his at-bat in the bottom half of the next inning. They had to talk him into coming out of the ball game with a broken ankle.
Cubs have made a lot of contact today. Just the third strikeout. They've all been in the last 3 innings. The merry-go-round has been spinning quite a bit. Cubs have scored in 5 different innings. McGee with a single and a run in the 7th. Slider strike. Big day for Patterson. 2 hits, a walk, 3 runs. I asked Casey McGee, so where are you playing most of the time? He said, I'll play anywhere. He play the corner spots in the infield. He can catch. He just wants to find a way to get in there and get some at-bats.
Well, I'm sure there's a position that he feels more comfortable at than others, but he's not going to tip his hand. Wherever you need him, he'll be ready. Some hitting instruction from the skipper over there.
Line into left. McGee is 2 for 2. And they're 1 hit away from 20 on the day.
Busy day offensively for the Cubs. You never know exactly what's going to happen in spring training. When you split up your team, you don't always have your 8 starters that you're going to play during the regular season. You mix and match with some starters and some minor league players, and occasionally you land on a real good combination, and that's been the case today, the way the Cubs have been swinging the bats.
Hit hard foul. Some spring training changes as far as home sites coming up. The Dodgers playing their final Grapefruit League season at Dodgertown in Vero Beach, Florida. They'll be in Glendale next year. White Sox would like to come up to the Valley next spring. It's off the glove of Sheely, and Kroger's going to score. Hit number 20 for the Cubs. Felix P.A. with his 3rd hit. 11-1.
Well, crisply struck line drive right there by Felix P.A. That ball just handcuffed the first baseman. All he could do was lean to his right and make a dive. Did knock it down, deflected a little bit, but a good approach right there by Felix P.A. Lightning quick bat that time through the hitting zone. That's a thing of beauty, isn't it? Not only the 20 in the hit column, but the 0 in the error column.
3 singles in the 8th. Yeah, at some point the White Sox will be in Glendale, Arizona. They're looking for a replacement team in Tucson. Sheely knocks it down, and he will take it unassisted for out number 3. 11 runs on 20 hits for the Chicago Cubs. More hits in the stands.
On the next Scrubs.
Yeah, I'm going to go tell her now.
Wait, sir! You have a chance to be on the greatest surprise. JD's hatching a plan, but some ideas
You know what I'm looking forward to the most? When I can tell them one by one.
are better off dead.
Abort the surprise! Abort the babies!
Next Scrubs. Tonight at 11 Eastern.
Has asbestos ruined your health? If you or a family member suffered mesothelioma due to asbestos exposure, you may be entitled to a large cash award. Call 1-800-RESULTS today to learn about your rights. Don't let time run out. you can still file a claim. Don't be a victim twice. Call 1-800-RESULTS now.
If you've been injured by asbestos, call 1-800-RESULTS. Recovery, respect, results. You don't have to suffer. You just have to call 1-800-RESULTS.
When I was a kid, I used to hit rocks over this creek in my backyard. I guess you could say I'm still hitting rocks. But now, it's out of other people's yards.
There are many roads to the show. What'll yours be? MLB 08 The Show. Nothing gets you closer. Rated E for everyone. Only on PlayStation.
So, any questions on the menu?
I'm kind of in the mood for something different.
Oh, me too. I think I can help you there.
Try new Asiago steak. Perfectly grilled and topped with flavorful Asiago cheese. Or new Fontina chicken. Herb marinated chicken with Fontina cheese. Both with 5 cheese tortelloni and our homemade Alfredo. 2 great new dishes only at Olive Garden. Each with endless salad and breadsticks.
Well, what'd you think of our new dish?
It was exactly what I was in the mood for.
Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
A lot of kids at the ballpark having fun in the sun out on the berm. Oh, Red Sox fan out there. Oh, she said, "You can't catch me." What are you going to do now?
Neener, neener, neener. Well, he's persistent. I'll give him credit for that.
Left-hander Neil Kotz is working. Neil much better his last time out. 2 outings ago, gave up 5 runs in 2/3 of an inning. But against Seattle on the 7th, an inning, no hits, no runs. Swing and a miss by Matt Tupman.
Really, the lack of command or the inability to consistently throw strikes is what's been the downfall for Neil Kotz so far this spring. 4 walks to go along with the 4 base hits in 2 2/3 innings work.
A bouncer over the mound. And Blanco makes a play. Well, former Cub Dave Olin is the bench coach for Trey Hillman. Cub fans will remember the big hit he had to end the Sandberg-Suter game. June 23rd, 1984. Bottom of the 11th. Had the single to score Leon Durham. 12-11 the final. But more Cub fans will remember Rhino's performance that day.
I think so, since they call it the Sandberg game.
5 for 6, 7 RBIs.
And 2 home runs against the most dominating closer of that time period in the National League, Bruce Suter.
Leadoff home run in the bottom of the 9th. And then a 2-run homer in the 10th. Wanted 2 on Pena. It's sticker day out there.
Well, just a reminder to bring something for the youngsters to play with should they become bored with the ball game. Apparently they didn't bring the chalkboard today, so Mom gets the stickers on her leg.
Child-proof stickers and adhesives are okay. A roller to third for McGee. Pops it in the mitt before going it across to Jake Fox. If you just joined us, Ryan Dempster went 4 innings, gave up 1 hit, 1 run, 2 walks, a couple of strikeouts. Kerry Wood looked dominating in his 1 inning. Carmen Pignatello Michael Wirtz with scoreless innings as well. Cubs starters have been very good the last 7 games. They came in with a 2.33 over their last 6. If Joey Gathright finds a gap, he might just circle all of them.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about how much fun it is to watch the fast guys like Eric Patterson run the bases. If Gathright splits a gap, you're going to see some speed.
More stickers.
See, but they came prepared with a book to put the stickers in, as opposed to Mom's shin.
That family came very prepared. Looks like he has some sort of Cubs outfit on. No time for Blanco. He's got to get it over there in a hurry. He does. And Wilcox with a clean 8th. It's 11-1 Cubs.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. You're now free to be more productive. Visit southwest.com today.
You just randomly What was that?
It's nothing.
Yeah.
Every sip gets you closer to clothing, vacations, millions of songs from Amazon MP3 and more. Sign up at PepsiStuff.com.
Goodbye, Mr. Made Up of Different Stuff guy.
Hey, hi. Could you take all of these in for me, please?
All of them?
Well, it's the Boston cream pie and the apple turnovers and the white chocolate strawberries and the key lime pie.
So you need them let out?
No, in.
Out.
In.
Out.
No, in.
Yoplait Light. With 14 delicious flavors at 100 calories, it only tastes fattening.
Out? Okay, I was just outside and then I came in, so if you could...
Hello, Domino's.
Yo, Domino's guy. Guess what we get over here's now with our 30 minutes now?
Ordered a Brooklyn-style pizza and then pick up those fake Brooklyn accents.
You being the wise guy? Yo, Vinny, we got a wise guy. Yo, everybody, we got a wise guy.
No, fellas, did I say fake? I meant really cool.
Oh, you? Yes, good. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Here comes the Brooklyn. You got big foldable slices and ginormous pepperoni. You got a one-topping large for $9.99. Domino's. You got 30 minutes.
Superstation WGN is your home for sports in HD.
Big day for the Cubs here in Arizona, leading the Kansas City Royals 11-1. And today's Nissan drive of the game. The good thing is, Bob, we had a lot of options, but we're going to go with Alex Cintrone clearing the bases with a double to the gap at left center in the 3rd inning. Cubs scored 5 times that inning.
Big day for Alex. Came into the ball game hitting .308. A couple more knocks today. Everybody up and down the lineup contributing with the bats in this ball game here in Surprise, Arizona.
Julio Pimentel on for Kansas City. Mike Aviles now playing short. We're in the 9th. Sam Fuld walked in his first at bat, which came in the 7th. Now, just to get back to some of the movement around baseball and spring training, the Dodgers are going to play a few games here in Arizona this year after they finish up in Florida on the 18th. Cleveland is moving from Winter Haven, Florida, to Goodyear next year, and the Reds could be joining them as early as 2010. Goodyear, Arizona. think it was 16-14 Florida to Arizona, something like that, but that's obviously starting to shift, and there are going to be more teams in Arizona than in Florida.
Balance of power starting to shift to the west. I think a lot of it has to do with the lack of moisture you get here in Arizona. You may get some cold days, you may get some windy days in spring training, but rarely do you get rainfall. And when you can go out and get your work in every day without worrying about rain, certainly makes spring a lot easier to schedule.
Just a little more consistency. Although the Cubs were interrupted by rain last year at a game in Peoria. It was stopped in the 3rd or 4th inning, but it's pretty rare.
It does happen, and a lot of the facilities in Florida, let's be honest, they could use some upgrading, they could use some renovations, and with seemingly an unlimited supply of available land out here in the desert, new ballparks springing up every year, and a lot more teams headed this way.
Fold with his second walk. The one place I hope they're able to maintain and preserve is the facility in Vero Beach, Dodger Town. I think there's been some negotiations for another team, maybe Baltimore, to take over there at some point. But it's a throwback facility. No dugouts. Very intimate ballpark. There's nothing like going into the lunchroom before a game in Vero Beach. As Eric Patterson lifts that ball high and deep, right center field, out toward the berm, and a home run. What a day for Eric Patterson. A 2-run blast to make it 13-1. He's done a little bit of everything today. He's hit for power. He's shown his speed. He's shown some patience. Good defense.
And most importantly, he's gotten on that plate 4 times in this ball game, which is what you would expect from a guy like Eric Patterson up at the top of the order. Get on base, get on that plate, score some runs for your team. Nice approach once again, much like a Hoffpauir earlier in the ball game. A low pitch to a left-handed hitter, just drops the head of the bat on it and shows surprising power to right center field.
13-1. Jake Fox hits it just foul. Yeah, so you go into the cafeteria and you see Tommy Lasorda.
I knew that's where you were going. I knew that's where you were going.
In full uniform, having lunch. Tommy will roam the stands in his uniform. Now, you have never been to that facility,
no,
right?
Never been to Dodger Town. I spent one spring in Florida in Dunedin when I was a member of the Toronto Blue Jays, and either we didn't play the Dodgers that spring or I didn't make the trip, one or the other.
Oh, I know what happened. You told the Blue Jays, I have had enough of the Dodgers.
Yeah, I've seen enough of the Dodgers. Thank you very much.
I'll skip that trip.
You know, it's funny because we were talking about Carlos Zambrano, and they're pulling him back a day from his start against the Brewers so he doesn't get overexposed against a team he's going to see a lot during the season. And the spring I was with the Toronto Blue Jays, we had a left-handed pitcher by the name of Jimmy Key, who it was kind of the same program. They didn't want him to pitch against a lot of the teams that he was going to face during the season. So when his day to start would come, a lot of times they would send him to the minor league complex to pitch in a camp game, and I was his valet catcher that spring, so spent a lot of time catching at minor league complexes, but you know, it made for a short day and got to get out to the golf course a little quicker.
Gathright battling the sun. One out for Luis Figueroa.
You know, that's one way to approach a situation like that, is to just hold a guy back and don't let him pitch against a team that he's going to see a lot of. And I guess the other approach, if you were, you know, a little craftier and chose to do so, you could go out there and pitch against the team you're going to see a lot, but maybe pitch in a different pattern, maybe use different pitches in different counts, just to try to plant a seed of doubt in their mind so that when you face them in the regular season, it's a whole different plan of attack against that lineup.
High chopper. Aviles at short had to wait, and he got it. A lot of close plays at first. And they've all been called outs today.
And a 13-1 ball game in the bottom of the, or top of the ninth inning, rather. You better be about 6 or 7 steps past the bag at first if you expect to be called safe. And I think they got him over there, but Avila didn't make it easy. He really laid back on that ball at shortstop when you're taught to try to charge in there and get it on a short hop, especially with a fast runner.
Speaking of the Dodgers, they're going to play a game against the Red Sox just before the start of the season at the Coliseum.
Isn't the Coliseum the ballpark that had the real short fence? Was it left field, I believe? Field. Really, really short.
Oh, yeah. You would have hit 60 home runs in that ballpark.
I'd have tried anyway. A Dodger fan here today. The Dodgers, watch out. If they get that pitching staff patched back together and get guys out on the mound healthy, that is a formidable rotation they can run at you. Haven't really seen how Jason Schmidt has been doing this spring, but
what I read, he did not feel very good his first time out. Now they signed right-hander Hiroki Kuroda. Came over from Japan. Signed a 3-year contract. Kroger hits a grounder to second. Herman to Sheely for the third out. Eric Patterson with a 2-run blast to make it 13-1 to the bottom of the ninth.
Thrill-seeking billionaire Thomas Crown is a man who takes risks. Like stealing priceless works of art.
Oh, yes.
But one woman is out to catch him.
It's not about the money. We like the chase.
Pierce Brosnan, Rene Russo.
You got your hand caught in the cookie jar now.
The Thomas Crown Affair.
Friday at 8.
Oh, I'm so glad you two could make it to our wine and cheese party.
Oh, thank you.
Let's go inside. Yeah.
I'm gonna go put my cheese in the kitchen. Gentlemen? Dude, that's some serious cheese.
You care for a slice?
Ooh, that'll go perfect with this baguette.
And we'll finish it off with this lovely Chablis.
Endless refreshment from start to finish. Bud Light keeps it coming.
Going on a cheese run.
A Best Western isn't just any hotel, it's my hotel. As an owner, I make it my business to take better care of travelers.
Sleep in or join us for breakfast. Watch movies.
Or surf the internet.
Do what you like. It's your vacation.
At my Best Western, you're not just a guest, you're my guest.
Best Western. Ownership shows. Stay twice. Through April 6th and earn twice the rewards. AAA members earn 3 times. Twice is nice. 3 times is nicer. Visit bestwestern.com.
What can I say? It's in my blood. Racing, the STP, it really gets me going.
Because Marathon gasoline with STP provides extra cleaning power and helps maintain fuel economy?
That's right. I see all Marathon gas now contains STP additives. See y'all. Remember, pit road speed.
Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
Stop in at your neighborhood marathon for your free 2008 NASCAR schedule.
All right, they've got their second win after some caffeine, no doubt.
Yeah, they'll sleep in the car on the ride home.
Well, I like Carlos Marmol's chances of preserving this one today. Not a save situation with his team up 12.
Yeah, what we know of Carlos Marmol, though, he's going to approach this as if it was a one-run ball game. I mean, you know he would like nothing better than to be the closer for the Chicago Cubs in the major leagues. I don't think he's going to complain if it doesn't work out that way, but yeah, he feels like he's going to do everything in his power to make it tough on Larry Rothschild and Lou Piniella to make that decision on the closer.
In tight on Esteban Herman. Fly to deep right. Kroger just in front of the warning track. It brings up Ryan Sheely. If Ryan Sheely were a hockey player, he'd probably be the enforcer. 6'5", 240.
It's a big boy right there.
Former Rocky. Attended the University of Florida. Just can't sit still.
He's back. It's amazing how much stuff you can find to do in such a confined area. And it's not like they're out in the middle of a playground, but they're upside down and hanging upside down from the seats and crawling on the ground. See, they got a little more room to maneuver out there.
Fastball strike. The Cubs have kept the Royals to 2 hits. On one bounce, it's McGee. Now Mitch Meyer representing the last chance for the Royals.
Well, I would highly recommend that any Cub fan that gets an opportunity to come down here to Arizona, if you get a chance to make the trip over here to Surprise and check out this wonderful facility that the Royals and the Rangers share, I would highly recommend it. Really a great place to watch a ball game, not a bad seat in the house. And they got a merry-go-round, for crying out loud.
What more could you ask for? They cut a baseball into the grass in center. I mean, come on. You do that at home?
No. You know, we were actually here early enough this morning to watch the ground crew prepare this field for the ball game today. They were very busy.
Found back to the screen. Now, they were painting the logo behind home plate early today.
The recreation campus. I like that. It's the kind of school I should have gone to.
Went to Ohio University. I was on the recreation campus.
Yeah.
Cup fans being heard now. Good chunk of this crowd of over 10,600. Full count on Meyer. The kick and the pitch. He makes part of the Cubs game was more impressive, the offense or the pitching and defense. But that's a good problem to have.
We're totally dominating on both sides of the ball today. Everybody in the lineup getting active with the bats, and what a great job by the pitching staff, starting with Ryan Dempster.
So the Cubs rack up 21 hits and get Dempster's 2-0. Kerry Wood was tremendous. Carmen Pignatello, Michael Wirtz, Neil Kotz, and Carlos Marmol all did a terrific job. And Lou Pinella's ball club improves to 5-7. Those guys don't want to leave. So off to Phoenix tomorrow to take on Milwaukee, and Mark DeRosa will make his Cactus League debut. More to come from Surprise. The Cubs beat the Royals 13-1.